Russell, welcome to the Hank Russell invitation. Man, tonight, I was telling her off camera for a sec. I've been covering combat sports for a couple of decades, pretty much, and I've also, been covering sports in general for about that long as well. I've interviewed champions. I've interviewed, world-class competitors. Never interviewed somebody on this side of the spectrum, so to speak. So this is a very interesting interview. This is probably the most unique one, unless I get a sumo wrestler on here, which I've never had a sumo wrestler. But maybe one day we'll get one of those. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, she is representing the Kumite event that is going on this Saturday. Her name is Alexandra Clarkson. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
No, not at all. I'm glad that Zach said. Zach encouraged you to do this?
Yes.
Zach, you owe me. Zach is supposed to come with me next. Have me interview him next week. Zach, you owe me that just because I've interviewed at least 12 of the competitors on the card, but you're the first, ring girl that I've interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could ask the generic questions at first. How did you get into the? Is this your first ring girl gig?
Yeah.
And how did Zach acquire you to be the ring girl? One of them. I know he's got a couple of them, but
so I knew Zach before Kumite was a thing. I was working with him previously. He's in a band, the Sly Band, and I would come around to events and work with him. I would operate the little photo booth that he had. So I knew him beforehand. He told me about the idea of Kumite, and I told him if he was going to run for it, that I would absolutely be down. And he came up with the idea of a ring girl, and I said, let's do it.
Are you a fan of combat sports outside of, doing this?
I have never been in the world of combat sports before, so this is completely new to me. Kumite is the only frame of reference that I have.
And I appreciate your honesty with that because, I get a lot of people on here. You can tell that they've been doing it for a long time. And you can tell that I interview a lot of people that own organizations and they know very little about it because they're really just writing the check. So I appreciate your honesty in that aspect. But so let's see. Do you have what's your background? Then were you into any type of modeling or, cheerleading or anything like that?
I did get into a little bit of modeling, nothing serious, just stuff that was more so for fun. I was also a part of a fashion show that was held in Cincinnati, so that was fun. And I have a background in social media.
Yeah, I might need your help with that. Are you pretty good at getting people off the ground on social media?
I'm trying to get myself off the ground, so I'll let you know when I get there.
I know it. I've been in radio and broadcasting, and I've been with millions for quite some time. But I've been trying to get it off the ground, but I just don't have any way to not hit this wall. I've hit this wall, so to speak. I'm doing well as far as millions goes, but outside of it, I am trying to get past it. So maybe if you get past it, let me know. Maybe we'll keep in touch, of course. But
I will.
I could sure use the help. Now that being said, you said this is going to be your first combat event. How are you dealing with it so far? Is there any anxious feeling or is it more excitement?
I would say it's a mix of both. Being in front of people on a stage is always a little anxiety-inducing, and then making sure all of the fighters are ready at the right time. It definitely stresses me out when I'm running around trying to find somebody. But Overall, it's really fun.
I cover press all the time. I do my podcast, and then I cover press in the crowd and stuff like that. And the last one I was at, there's always mixed reactions about people regarding the ring girls or something like that. I was surprised I wasn't. It's not ignoring, so to speak, but just I thought that I would hear more like catcalling and stuff like that. I didn't see that at the event, at least not from a in the crowd standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. I've never experienced that at Kumite. Everyone's always been extremely respectful towards me. And mainly I'm just talking to the fighters right before they go on. So they're already in that headspace. They're getting ready to go. So I'm just calling out names. And they're like, yep, I'm ready.
Oh, wait a second. So are you doing partial interviews as well?
No, I'm my main job is to find the fighters before the matches, make sure that they're both ready to walk onto the stage, and then I'll put the medal on the winner.
Okay. Are you like? I was under the impression too. Are you holding up the sign during the rounds or whatever too? Or
So we don't actually do signs. So it's called, I say ring girl loosely. I'm in a shiny dress and heels, and entrance, helping make sure that everybody is going into the right entrance music, just keeping the timing,
yeah,
things like
no.
that.
Oh, very good, very good. You know, definitely a big responsibility. That's for sure. I don't know Zach from Adam, for the record. I have never spoken to him in person, so I don't know what he sounds like, what he looks like, or anything like that. But I can imagine that night, I'm sure he'll enjoy himself, but at the same time, kind of keep his butt locked up the whole time. So,
Yeah, I think that we all kind of do. It's kind of funny to me when everything is over. I feel like we can all breathe afterwards. And then we get to kind of be like, oh, well, that went really great. Because when you're in it, we're all running around. I hardly ever see Zach during Kumite. He's running around, so many little issues. Everyone's always asking me, where's Zach? Where's Zach? I'm like, I don't know. So you are right.
yeah. Oh, no, I've been in those locker rooms and stuff like that. You know, they make me take pictures and stuff like that. And I don't get to take many pictures because I'm a little bit nervous about invading their space while they're warming up or they're getting themselves mentally prepared. You know, I don't usually talk to the fighters during that time, and I barely talk to the ones that run it. You know, I always like to talk to the middle person, which sounds like where you're kind of at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, people always ask me lots of questions.
No, I believe it, and so maybe after this, you'll be more of a spectator of the sport as well. Like, I mean, this is straight up jiu-jitsu, so this is a good introduction.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely gotten a little more used to it. Like I said, I really didn't have anything to do with combat sports at all, so it's taken some getting used to because it's obviously violent, and I've not been around anything like that. But I have such an appreciation for the fighters.
Yes. Well, this one is going to be a straight up jiu-jitsu tournament, so this is really interesting. And jiu-jitsu can be violent, but it's also more of like a brain type skill. You know, it's more of guys playing chess as opposed to, you know, just beating each other over the head with a club type of thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good introduction for you. I don't know. Do they know how many are expected to show up for the Kumite?
I am not sure.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's like I said, I've interviewed at least 12 of these guys over the last 3 weeks getting ready for this competition. And, you know, everybody has been doing their part as far as like getting themselves promoted out there. But they've been real loose and relaxed talking to me on this show. But that being said, I know that night is going to be a different environment.
Mm-hmm.
So is this going to be like a one and done thing with this, or do you think about doing something else, or do you want to continue to do this with them?
I mean, I would love to keep working with Kumite for as long as possible. I do really enjoy it. It's always really fun. I am getting my master's currently, so I kind of have this is more of a side.
Right. What do you do for a living?
I'm a student. I'm getting my master's in art therapy.
Art therapy?
Mm-hmm.
Explain that one to me. It sounds interesting.
So art therapy is talk therapy, but you use art. So that can be drawing, painting, things of that nature. And as a therapist, I will talk to my clients, see what materials they're comfortable with that they want to use, and it can help with anxiety, or I can come up with a specific art directive to help get them to open up about something. So there's many, many different things that art therapy can do. I always find it so difficult to explain, but it's very...
I remember when I went to therapy one time, they had us draw something, and I came up with a cat dressed up like Batman. So,
well, there you go.
I don't know what that meant at the time. I've still got, if you look at my Instagram page and you slide down, like 7-8 years ago, then you'll see it. It's like there's Batcat, but I don't know. That was something I did in art, some form of art therapy. I don't know if that's what I actually went to or not, but they just wanted to do something through expression. So
We'll
what is? Oh yeah, no. So where do you go to school?
I'm at the University of Indianapolis.
Is that where you're from, Indianapolis?
I'm actually from Lexington, Kentucky, and then I went to college at Northern Kentucky University, which is where I met Zach around, and then I been at Indianapolis for a year.
Oh, there you go. I've never been to the state of Indiana, much less Indianapolis, but I actually want to go up there. As a guy who's been in broadcasting for years, I'd love to visit Pat McAfee's studio.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you know who Pat McAfee is or not, but he's got the #1 sports show right now in the world, if I'd have to say so.
Oh, okay.
And he's based out of Indianapolis. He's on every morning at 11 o'clock Central Time on ESPN and YouTube for free.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's up in Indianapolis, and that's like the #1 sports show right now.
Well, I learned something today.
There you go. I'm glad to school you on that. So, they're kind of jealous. You could drive down the street, and if I could drive down the street and be like, "Hey, can I see the studio for a second?" So, So, you went to school. So you're still probably very young too. Was this something that you picked up after college, or was this something you picked up while you were going to college?
It was during college that I started doing this.
Very cool. But you grew up in Lexington, Kentucky. I've never been to Lexington. I'm from Tennessee, though. So.
Oh, I don't like Tennessee. Sorry.
What's wrong with Tennessee? Talking about
We're rivals.
The what?
We're rivals.
I'm a University of Memphis fan.
Well,
I'm not a Vol. You thought I was a Vol, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, we don't. No, let me tell you something. I get albino pumpkins. I don't pull for the Vols.
Okay.
I'm a University of Memphis guy. Yes, indeed, feed the needy. I'm from Memphis. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. Did you? Because Lexington, Kentucky. Who do they got? Louisville, or what do they have in Kentucky?
It's the University of Kentucky.
Okay. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. I know these teams. It's just like, like Alabama's the most popular football team, but I don't know where actually the city that it's in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not that. It's just not that big of a deal to me if it's not my team. I know the teams, but I don't know anything about like Bear Bryant, what type of food he ate in 1956. It's just that's how they are down there, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what sports did you like growing up?
Growing up, I've always been really big into basketball and football. University of Kentucky, go Big Blue, and I was in different sports. I was a gymnast. I played volleyball, soccer. Those are my
favorites. Well, at the risk of I don't want to guess your age out of politeness, but were you there during the Calipari, or were you a fan during the Calipari years?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He was ours. He was ours first.
Yep. And then he went to Arkansas, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was ours first. So we were supposed to get like John Wall and Anthony Davis and all of them. So that's how long ago it's been now. But So have you ever considered competing, or did you just want to just kind of handle the behind the scenes stuff or the in front of the camera sort of thing?
I'm completely fine with the behind the scenes. It's fun to watch. I don't know that that's something that I'm super interested in doing for myself, but
right.
The respect that I have for all of the fighters is unmatched. That's just not something that I think I'm capable of doing.
I will be watching online. I believe I can find it online if I'm not mistaken, or at y'all's website if I'm not mistaken. So, and I'm going to be watching it. Consider the fact that I've interviewed. And where can I see you on the camera? Are you going to be in front of the camera, Andy?
So I will be putting the medals on the fighters. Sometimes the camera kind of skips me, but you'll see me on the stage, especially during the beginning, during the Mission of the Night Award, things like that, putting the medals on.
Yeah, that's right. I'd be like, she looked familiar. But you're wearing a dress, right? You're not wearing like a skimpy outfit.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing a dress.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask because I didn't know I didn't know how the role of what you're doing is portrayed. I mean, but then again, that's I was overstepping with asking. When we said ring girl, it's not a broad term actually. So you made it into a broad term, and I love it. So
yeah, yeah. No, we kind of changed it up. Zach wanted it to kind of be like more theatrical, change the outfits with the theme. So I kind of matched my dress shoes to the colors of our poster. So sequins and things like that. But I always try to stay away from like anything that's inappropriate. I mean, it's a family thing. And like
right,
for the kids tournament that we did last time, I only wore like the t-shirt and jeans and put the medals on the fighters. So
yeah,
just kind of switch it around to whatever the theme is.
right. And no, I get it. And like you said, this is your first show though, so good.
Well, this one isn't my first show. I've done 7 of them.
Are they all under Zach?
Yeah. So this is number 10 of Kumite.
Okay. I didn't know that. I just heard about the Kumite less than a month ago, so it's just
it's been going on for some years now. So like when I was in college, I started doing the Kumite events with Zach.
Okay. Now, maybe I wasn't detailed about enough questions, or I assumed, because I was just thinking about this because I know a lot of the promoters around this country and some in other parts of the world, but why I hadn't heard about this because this is going to take place in like northern Kentucky, right?
Yep, in Covington, Kentucky at Madison Theater.
I know it. I mean, I hear people from Canada are coming down to this.
Yeah, we've had people fly in from different states, Canada, so it's getting some traction more and more every show.
I know it. I wish that I could. I wish that's my goal is to be able to like like I said, I do press. I go to these events sometimes live, but if anybody ever wants to fly me in, I'd be glad to cover it in person. But I know that Zach's just trying to get it, get a little bit more of a pace going with this. But I can always talk to him about that later. But that's kind of
absolutely.
I need to see it, because I don't know how far of a drive Covington, Kentucky is from where I'm at. So it's probably a little bit too far for me to drive. So.
Yeah, that'd be a good drive.
Yeah, well, especially, yeah, absolutely. So, what is? I'm trying to think of how to explain this. Like, what do you think the goal for the Kumite is right now? Do you think it's more of like a premiere of that area sort of thing, like, hey, being the premier jiu-jitsu,
For right now, I think that the goal is just to continue growing. I mean, maybe one day this could be really big and be on everybody's TV and like be in a very big, I don't know, like a bigger theater. Right. I think the goal is just to try and continue to grow Kumite as a business and just really see what they can make out of it.
Have y'all considered doing it like on YouTube and stuff like that?
I don't know about YouTube, but we do stream through Millions.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know y'all do. I'm just, because I didn't know like the possibility of multi-streaming, but they need to. I'm glad that they're doing it through Millions, obviously, because I represent Millions.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because, we hope to one day be a premier as far as like combat sports is concerned, and that's a big deal, and we're getting there. We get a lot of great shows and stuff like that, but I'm hoping one day that like Millions will be associated with streaming combat sports.
Yeah, that would be really, really cool, especially if Kumite was up there with you guys.
Oh, I know it. I wish, like I said, I would have wished I could come up there and represent Millions and cover this because I mean I've heard a lot, and a lot of great guys are going to be on there. Do you know who the main event is?
I do not.
Nobody can answer that question for me. I'm afraid to ask Zach, but I need to ask him.
He would tell you.
I know he would. I just, I feel like I should have known that answer already.
See, the funny thing is people are, will ask me, in this interview and the other one that I did, and even some of my friends are like, okay, some of my friends actually, do jiu-jitsu for a living, and they're not competing in Kumite, but they'll ask me questions about it, and I'm like, I show up and then they tell me how many fights there are. Like, I don't know anything until I get there.
Yeah, that's how it works. So there
Yeah.
you go. No, I mean, I get it, and I know you're just doing your part and hopefully enjoying it while you're doing it. That's what I'm hoping.
Absolutely. It's a blast.
No, yeah, of course. So what is the like? How often are they going to do these kumites? Do you know?
So for right now, we've been doing about like 2 kumites a year.
Okay. Are they talking about the next one being in December or January, somewhere around there?
Usually we do one in December.
That's
So
cool.
maybe even 3 a year, really, because we've already had one this year, now this one, and possibly another one in December. So 2 to 3 a year.
Is it the same location?
No, we switched up locations. Our last one was a little bit up north in Ohio. So we are back to where we have previously been now at Madison Theater.
Okay. Yeah. I did have the address. And I should have looked it up on Google just to see how far of it is. But I've been promoting the hell out of it as far as the address and everything is like that is concerned. So, Did you? So, I mean, do you have a loved one in your life as far as like a support system, like significant other or parents and all that?
Very single. So no, my parents don't come to the shows. That's not really like their thing. And I don't even live in the area anymore. So I'm just coming up for the show and then I'll be dipping out afterwards.
How far of a drive is it down from Indianapolis?
It's about a 2-hour drive.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, not at all. And I love that city. I lived there for 5 years. So any excuse to get me back into the Cincinnati and surrounding area, I will take it.
Yeah, and I just realized, I mean, I've been all over, and I have never been to Indiana or Ohio, so.
Mm-hmm. You got to get to Cincinnati and Northern.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do, I mean, I wouldn't know what to do unless, I have to have a purpose to do things, I have to, like, if the Kumite flew me out to Cincinnati and to cover them or whatever and hang out, then, yeah, I would have a purpose for that, but as far as, like, I don't know what I would do, like, what would you recommend I do in Cincinnati?
The food is to die for in Cincinnati, so I would say number 1, the food.
Got it.
There's so many unique experiences in that area, from like pop-up events. They do like dancing in the square. They have really fun bars. Like, there's just so many events. I feel like I can't name any right now because I'm trying to think about it, but
sure.
Literally I would just look up with my friends and we would find some like street fair. There's always different vendors, things that are happening on different streets. Newport on the Levee is really fun. Bowling. So, like, so many things.
Yeah, I'll have to get out there. Cincinnati's close to the Kentucky border, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's just right across.
Okay, see. I know that a lot of people, that played baseball for the Cincinnati Reds and stuff like that came from Kentucky. It's like a homecoming, basically, for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reds game. That's another thing. I just went with my family last week, I believe. Yeah, last week. So that's always fun. Bengals, if you can see a game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll pinch my nose and watch a Bengals game, but I'm a Raiders fan, so they knocked us out of the playoff contention a couple of years ago. So
Gotcha.
But that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Well, I tell you what. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to say, and then we'll promote the fight again?
I mean, whoever's watching this, please tune in on Millions if you can't be there in person. We want as much support as we can possibly get, and it means a lot to all the people that are watching on Millions who can't be there. So just thank you, everybody, for the support, and show out if you're able to.
Dig that. That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, I mean, I'll be catching it. So, we're going to have, I hope we had fun here tonight, and we're definitely going to have fun watching the Kumite. And, Zach, if you're watching this, you better bring your ass on my show next week. I'm telling you.
I'll text him.
I could write him on Instagram. I've never talked to him in person. For all I know, he could be like the most hard-nosed guy that would like chase me down type. So who knows?
He's goofy.
They all are. All these promoters and fighters are so goofy. I'm telling you. I thought being a person. I mean, I used to fight a long time ago. That was like 18 years ago. Last time I fought. But I guess I was a little goofy back then when I was fighting. But that'll work. Well, Alexandra, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, if you ever want to do this again, write me and we'll keep in touch about what we talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
All right, let me close this thing out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Hank Russell Invitation. You could have been doing something else, but you decided to join me and Alexandra tonight, and I'm always glad that you did. And until next time, you'll have a pleasant evening.